Hi everybody, this is drawninjakc here, and we have met the halfway mark of the 100 days of sketching. I'm very excited about this because it means that I can do 50 of them, and if I can do this 50, I can do the next 50. And you know, I always appreciate all the support that you guys have always given me. And honestly, I'll say it again. I've said it before. I could not have done this without you guys' help and support. So thank you always for being there in my corner, man, and for pushing me along, man, so that I can do this thing. So I really appreciate that. So today I'm going to do a sketchbook tour. The sketchbook tour is going to be all the drawings that I've done from prompt 1 to prompt 50, and also all the drawings that I will do from prompt 50 to prompt 100. I'm just kidding. No, I'd have to go in the future for that. That just wouldn't work. In any case, you'll see the drawings from prompt 1 to prompt 50, and also any fun facts that I might throw at you as to the reasons I did the drawings in the first place. Okay? So without further ado, I would like to present to you the sketchbook tour of my first 50 drawings from the 100 Days of Sketching Challenge. Okay, everybody, so this is actually I bought this book specifically for the challenge. It has about 60 pages in it, and I started drawing in the book before I started the challenge. So this is there's a couple drawings before the challenge drawings, so we're just gonna take a look at those. The first one I actually did on a stream on my channel. You guys could see that stream if you check out the videos on my channel. This was Spider-Woman. That was a cool drawing. I did this from beginning to end on the stream, so I think it took maybe about 2 hours. And of course, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Also a video that I did on the channel, so you guys could check that out if you like. I don't know, for some reason, I was at the time I did this drawing, I just was like led to do it. I don't know why. Maybe I was seeking balance or whatever, but I came across this picture on Google, and I was like, for some reason, I don't know, I had to do it, and it made me like feel better. Maybe because the whole COVID thing was going on, I don't know, but it made me feel better to do this drawing. And I actually had to do this drawing as I guess as a form of therapy for my son, because he likes the Kid Danger show. So this was done a little bit after the show ended, because the actor who played Kid Danger decided to leave the show to go and do other things. And here we have the first of the prompts, which was Rise. Now the first one was Rise, and for me, that signified somebody who was undergoing a struggle and, you know, had a choice to either fall or rise. So I drew a female boxer specifically because I made a promise to myself to work on my female drawings, like my female anatomy, female interpretation, especially in the comic book style. So I drew a female boxer who was apparently knocked down, and you can see that the referee is counting her up. She has about 3 more seconds to either stay down or rise. And I'll leave it up to you if she stayed down or she got up. So that is that. And of course, this is the ever-loving Avatar, still like one of my favorite cartoons. And this was for prompt number 2, which was Kid. And again, as you know, I mean, you can go anywhere with these prompts, but since I was doing every prompt on my YouTube channel, I wanted to also do things that was entertaining and that you guys would like to watch. So all the prompts had some kind of pop culture reference to it in my world. I mean, I could have drawn some kid, but you know, you wouldn't have known that kid. But if I draw the Avatar, lots of people know that kid. You guys would enjoy watching the video, and you would like it, subscribe, all that good stuff, and you would have a nice experience. So as Avatar brings back a lot of good memories for me watching it, I'm sure it brought back a lot of good memories for the people who watched this video. So the next prompt, which is prompt number 3, was legend. And of course, I mean, you could have drawn so many different people as a legend. Like, there's so many different legends that have influenced people that just deserve the title legend. So rather than being turmoiled by trying to choose which one I should draw, I just went with kind of like an obvious pick, which was John Legend. So I figured nobody can argue with that because, well, his name is actually Legend. So it kind of solved the problem of which legend to draw for me. So that worked out really well. And now the next prompt, which was day number 4, was town. And I had no intention of drawing a town because, again, I thought that would have been boring. So I drew a scene from one of my favorite videos, Old Town Road, featuring Lil Nas X, which is this guy right here, and Billy Ray Cyrus. But this scene didn't feature Billy Ray Cyrus, but I like this picture that Lil Nas X was in, so I decided to use that as town for the song Old Town Road. And okay, so the next prompt, which was Orcy, O-R-C-Y. Oh no, my bad, I'm sorry. Food cart was the next prompt, which was day number 5. It was food cart. And for me, of course, everybody knows a food cart is one of those carts that sell food outside on the street. They sell hot dogs, they sell burritos, whatever. But I kind of thought, again, a concept that's particularly not very entertaining. So I figured I would just draw a pop culture reference, which would be, as you can tell by the scars, Harry Potter. And instead of a food cart that sells food, I used a shopping cart, which I also consider a food cart. And here we have 2 kids pushing each other, playing Harry Potter. I mean, I think I suggested there was a story behind it, like they received their scarves in the mail, and they stole the shopping cart from the local supermarket. and they're playing Harry Potter. They're either best friends or brother and sister. I mean, it's up to you to decide, but it's obviously 2 kids who are having a lot of fun with this food cart. Now, as I was saying before, the next prompt, which is Orkies, and I don't know what Kesh was thinking when he said that, but for me it just meant an orc. So again, wanting to practice my female drawing skills, I made it a female orc, and that worked out really well for me. And when he did do the Orky prompt, I went to his Instagram to find out, like, to see what he did as Orky, because I wanted to make sure that he meant orc. So I think he did an orc. And I looked at it and said, okay, I'm doing an orc either way because I don't know what an orky is. So I did an orc. And so the next prompt was wise brains. And of course, in this universe, in a galaxy far, far away, I should say, who has the wisest brains? Yoda. Yoda has the wisest brains. This is Master Jedi Yoda. You guys know him from Star Wars. So when I thought wise brains, he was literally the first person that came to my mind. So I actually had a lot of fun drawing this because at the time I never drew Yoda before, and I really wanted to tackle all these like different shadows and lightings and wrinkles on his face. And I think I pulled it off really well. So this was prompt number 7, wise brains. Now the next one was sandwich. Now many people debate whether a hamburger is a sandwich. And the answer is yes. A hamburger is a sandwich In my world, anything between 2 pieces of bread is a sandwich. So, you got the meat, you got the bacon, less tomatoes, cheese, between 2 pieces of bread. And this was prompt number 8. I actually saw this on Google, and I thought it looked like a really, really juicy burger. And of course, as I'm drawing this thing, I'm getting like hungry as ever. So no lie, after I finished drawing this, I ordered a burger from Uber Eats from one of my local burger joints. And for some reason, that burger just tasted extra good. So I don't know if it had anything to do with the drawing, but it was a really good, nice, juicy, greasy burger. It was awesome. All right. Okay, so the next prompt after sandwich was Pencil Kings. This was prompt number 9. And I went pretty much on the nose with this. And I went with the comic book style. Basically, it's a king who apparently is the king of pencils. And so in the story, and I think maybe only one subscriber noticed that he was wearing the infinity gems on his gauntlet. Let me bring this close here. The infinity gems were on his gauntlet. So the story here is that based on him having the infinity stones, whatever he draws comes to pass. So that'd be a pretty cool idea, wouldn't it? All right, so after Pencil Kings, we had Tabletop, which in the beginning was a little difficult because I wanted to come up with something that would entertain you as well as satisfy the prompt. And so it took a minute, I only had a day to come up with it because, of course, this is like every day. But after I realized, because I remember seeing this picture somewhere and I thought, well, you know what? Let me do that picture where The Rock has these pancakes on the tabletop and he's about to go in on this cheat day or whatever. And so I think I went on his Twitter and pulled up the picture, and it worked out really well. So for Tabletop, you saw The Rock here, and on his tabletop, there's a stack of pancakes that he's about to just like devour. So this was for prompt, or I should say day number 10, which was Tabletop. And from pancakes, we go to day number 11, which prompt was wafers. Now, I looked up wafers, and I just thought that all the wafers that I saw were a little boring, and it was nothing that would justify ever like having a really exciting video. So I did look up waffles, and I came across this beautiful picture of waffles, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do this thing. This is just the best, delicious looking. And for me, looking at the picture, fine, that was good and everything, but drawing the picture made me really hungry. I don't know why. And not just hungry, but hungry for waffles. And that's the thing about drawing food, that the food that you're drawing, man, you'll just get this craving for that food as you're drawing them. So this is, I think, one of my most liked on my Instagram. So yeah, this was one of my favorite drawings for the 100 Days Challenge. And also, many people had comments about it. A lot of people wanted to buy it, but I told them it's not for sale because it's part of a book. So they're like, well, how much for the book? I'm like, I'm not selling the book. But it is one of my favorite drawings of the prompt of the 100 days because, well, it also looks so delicious. All right, so that was wafers. I do waffles for wafers. All right, so prompt number 12 was handyman. And of course, that came off as the superhero that I just created, which was a handyman. and he has a big H on his chest, and he's carrying a plunger, and he's wearing jeans with the tool belt buckle with all the tools on it, and his cape is hiding his plumber's crack. So this is the superhero handyman. All right. And so after handyman, prompt number 13 for day number 13 was stew pot. Again, that was something, like a lot of these things don't really leave a lot of room for, you know, creating something entertaining. So I created something that looked entertaining by how real it looks. So if I was going to draw just a boring stew pot, then it had to be a stew pot that looked so dynamic, so interesting that you wouldn't mind watching the video. So that's what I mean. I thought I came up with it in this drawing. I thought that this interpretation just kind of makes you say, wow, like what did he do to make it look so interesting? And the answer is, I don't know. The secret to my realism is, okay, are you guys ready for this? The secret to my realism. Are you guys ready? Are you listening? I draw what I see. That's it. Put your eyes on the subject that you're drawing. Choose the color and then make the color look exactly like what you're seeing. And even though it doesn't look like anything in the beginning, in the end it would look exactly like what you were drawing, because you're drawing what you're seeing. All right. And it also has a lot to do with, you know, your understanding of how markers and color pencils work. So those two things equal realism. All right. Okay, so for Fish King, which was day number 14, prompt number 14, we went with Aquaman. Now, I could have done the Submariner, but these days Aquaman is more popular because of his movie. So I went with Aquaman, but I also wanted to give it a shot because I had an idea to how to make his suit glittery underwater, and so I wanted to test that out, and it worked out really well, which was basically doing markers right underneath, doing a marker base, and then doing the shadows with like the darker markers, and then within the highlights use a yellow Posca pen to just make the dots to make it look like a glitter, like it's glittering, and there you have it look like he's wearing a little bit of some armor, some underwater armor right there. All right, and of course I love the water. I got that reference also from Google, the water reference, but I jazzed it up a little bit more than it was in the pictures. So I really do love how the water came out. For me, the water sells the picture for me more so than Aquaman. Okay, so that was Fish King. Okay, and now for 15, which is Marky, I actually did this, which was at the time was just in black and white because I wanted it to be Marky. So I did it in black and white because I don't know what Kesh was thinking. I think Marky is his dog's name, and I think he wanted people to draw his dog. Yeah, that would have been exciting. In any case, it was a Marky picture, and it was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I thought that was more exciting than a dog. It's colored because I did it for a video that I was, and you guys probably have seen the video. If not, you can check it out. It was how to stop your fine liner from smudging. I colored it in that video to prove that the method that I used to prevent your fine liners from smudging really worked, and it did work. So you guys can check out that video, and I think I'll put a link in the description below or a card somewhere where you guys can just access the video if you want to. All right, so that is one, and that was Marky, right? So day number 16, which was Adventure, I thought of Ryu. Actually, no, that wasn't me. I I won't lie. My son thought of Ryu. He thought that because Ryu travels looking for battles and fights and street fights and stuff, that he's an adventurer. So that that would be a good person to represent the prompt adventure. And for me, it did represent the prompt adventure, because if he is traveling, he's an adventurer. Plus, it was a very cool character to draw and very entertaining and popular character. So why wouldn't you want to use this character in terms of trying to get people to be entertained? You know, this is Ryu. He has a lot of staying power, and he's been around for decades. So everybody knows him. So this was the perfect person to represent adventure. Okay, I mean, there are other ways that I could have represented it, but for me, this was the best way. All right. Okay. And again, the other picture could have represented adventure too, but this one I used for Relic. All right. And for Relic, I used a scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. I was about to say Raiders of the Last Ark. When I was a kid, I called it Raiders of the Last Ark. I'm like, I think it's my brother who straightened me out. He's like, it's not Raiders of the Last Ark. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm like, whatever. But this is a scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, where Indiana Jones is figuring out how to remove this little golden monkey thingy without setting off the booby traps or what have you. So I really liked how this came out, because of the lighting and everything, his face was glowing this crazy orange color, and I think I was worried about that at first, because I didn't know if I was gonna pull off that orange glow really well. But for me, as I took my time, which was using my method, I took my time. I draw what I saw, and it came out looking exactly like the picture that I was using to draw it from, and I was very happy with it. So, and it's also one of the ones that took the longest. I think this one took, I'm gonna be honest, this one took about maybe 6.5 hours to do. And I still don't even have my signature on it. Can you believe that? I just realized that. Alright, well, this was for Relic. Alright, and Relic was number 17. And okay, so for Monkey King, I drew my favorite Monkey King. This is Goku. And everybody knows, or if you don't know, you know now, that the whole Dragon Ball story is based on a Chinese Monkey King story. So, I mean, there of course, there's a lot of concepts and ideas that are not even in the Monkey King story, like, you know, being from another planet and stuff. But the main idea was taken from a Chinese Monkey King story. So that's why you see the whole thing with the tail and going great ape and things like that. All of that is part of the Monkey King story. So I used that interpretation to represent Monkey King, and for me it worked out really well. All right, so now the next prompt, which was docs, again, that just left a lot of, you know, leeway to be boring. But if you put a creature on the docks, then you're good to go. Actually, this is Killer Croc, and he's of course pulling up on the docks of Gotham City, coming out of the water. I guess the sewer bleeds into the Gotham River or whatever, and whatever he's doing there, he's about to definitely look for trouble. This drawing actually, somebody won this, but I didn't send it to them yet. Somebody won this in a giveaway, but I didn't send it to them yet. Because I wanted to do this video with the sketchbook tour. This way, I can have it to show what I used for docs. Alright, so now that I've made this video, I'll just put this in the mail to the winner. But okay, wait a minute. Oh yeah, that's right. They're actually, as of now, the winner hasn't really claimed it yet. I think they have like 1 week left to claim it. So, and if they don't claim it, then well, I'll have to pick another name. All right. Hey, look at there. That's the last guy. All right, this is Monkey Kingy. So number 20, which is hairdo. I drew another outer. Yeah. Now this particular character has a crazy hairdo, but this is Medusa from the Inhumans. She's the wife of Black Bolt. And if you guys know anything about Marvel Comics, you know that her hair is her power. She's able to control her hair and it does really wild stuff. And her husband, Black Bolt, he can't really speak because if he speaks, he can annihilate a planet. So he's quiet, and she's basically his mouthpiece, I guess. But she's also a very strong queen from the Inhumans world. So in terms of hairdo, I thought the most entertaining thing to do would be to use a Marvel superhero to interpret hairdo, and she works very well for that. So there you have it. This is Medusa for hairdo. Now, the next prompt, which was prompt number 21, which was Outbreak, I decided that, due to the current climate of things with the coronavirus, things were depressing enough. I'm not going to draw an interpretation of an outbreak. So instead, I reversed it and drew an interpretation of a breakout, which was my favorite female superhero, which is Power Girl, breaking out of chains. And again, this gave me a chance to practice my female form, female drawing, female anatomy, female interpretation, and give her a powerful position as she is escaping from chains. And instead of it being a outbreak, she is breaking out. I flipped the script using the same 2 words and keeping the prompt. So there you have it. All right, now next one was movie time, and for movie time that meant a good movie, which I thought was Shazam. Yes, this is a really good movie. I really enjoyed this movie, and so for movie time, which was prompt number 22, I drew Shazam. I thought it came out really well. This took me, I drew this I started early in the day. I started around 3 o'clock, and I ended around 10 o'clock. So this took me a good 5 hours. I think this was the second longest drawing, maybe? I don't know. But his face was the thing that took the longest because I wanted to get that right. And of course the lighting and stuff like that. So this was the prompt for movie time. All right, so the next prompt, which was prompt number 23, was mill. I had a few ways to go with that. I could have done a water mill or spinning mill, whatever, but instead I drew Meek Mill, which is a rapper from Philly. So you guys probably know Meek Mill. If you don't know Meek Mill, you should know him. He's his work is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I'm not the biggest rap fan, but every time I hear his work, I like it. So Meek Mill was here the interpretation for day number 23, which was Mill. All right. Day number 24, which was Bullseye. I went with Bullseye, which is the character Bullseye from Marvel Comics. He's notoriously known for giving Daredevil a hard time, also Spider-Man, but he is also the kingpin of crime, Wilson Fisk. He's also the Kingpin's, I guess, lead assassin or whatever. So whenever the Kingpin needs to give anybody trouble or send anybody a message, he always sends Bullseye to assassinate them or give them the message or whatever. And Bullseye is, now they say he doesn't have any mutant power, but he never misses. And he's incredibly accurate. So I believe that is a mutant power in of itself. And that's why they call him Bullseye, because he never misses. But he's also psychotic. Just so you know. But that is for prompt number 24, and it's Bullseye. Okay, prompt number 25, which puts us a quarter of the way there, is Dark Prince. Alright, so now of course with this I went totally in the sense that this is the old Vegeta that was like evil and like from the original Dragon Ball Z storyline. And he wanted to kill Goku. And I mean the current storylines is different. He's a good guy here. But I used this, which is from the current storyline, yes, but my interpretation is of him in back in the day where he was Prince Vegeta and, you know, a dark prince basically. So I think this hit the mark. A lot of people were like, oh, Vegeta is good now. And I'm like, it still hits the mark because if you know Vegeta back in the day, I think in the different series, which was Dragon Ball Z, he was a dark prince, right? So I think this interpretation worked really well. Okay. All right. So I'm not entertaining any more Dark Prince opinions, all right? This was Dark Prince. All right. Okay, so the next what's we call it? The next prompt was money. That was prompt number 26. And who better to signify that than Tekashi 69, who's always flexing his money. I thought this was going to actually take long, but it didn't really take as long as I thought it would. The longest thing to draw on this was his face, but I thought that because he had so many different colors in his hair, I thought that would have been a problem, but it actually turned out not to be a problem at all. So, but I love drawing Tekashi. This is not my first picture of Tekashi that I drew. I think I drew another one when I did a portrait of him, like in the beginning of my channel, and I don't know, because of all his colors and stuff, I always enjoyed like drawing him. So plus he's very colorful and dynamic, so I like that. Okay, so the prompt number 27, which is street, I went back to where Ryu came from and did Street Fighter, which was in this interpretation. I used Chun-Li squaring off against E Honda. So this is basically before the fight, right? It gave me a chance to draw E Honda's muscular figure and Chun-Li's very feminine rears. All right, so this was a good way for me to interpret street. As opposed to drawing a street, I drew Street Fighters. I think that worked. All right. Okay, so problem number 28, which was train. I drew a scene from, I would have to say, my favorite coming of age movie. Not like one of my favorite coming of age movies. I think my favorite coming of age movie is The Karate Kid. And this movie means so much to me because of the time it came out, who I was at the time, and what the movie represented. So anything related to The Karate Kid, I'm always there, and it's, it means more to me than just being a movie. It means a lot about the time that the movie came out and what the movie meant to me when I was a kid. And this is a training scene from the movie, which is one of the most popular scenes from the movie, which is Daniel working on the crane stance on the beach. That Mr. Miyagi taught him the crane stance, and so he's practicing it on the beach, and that represents to me training. So that's how that came out. Okay, so the next prompt was Speedy, which was prompt number 29, and of course I was either going to draw the Flash or the most popular speedster in the universe, which was Sonic the Hedgehog. So Sonic wins out over the Flash because Sonic's movie was hitting hard and still hitting hard, and everybody likes Sonic. So you can't really compare. The Sonic beats out the Flash at this point. So that's who I drew to represent the prompt, Speedy. Okay, and of course, next prompt is Beardish, which is prompt number 30. And for Beardish, I drew the most popular Beardish guy I know, which is Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z. All right, you guys know this guy is the guy who he trained Goku, he trained Gohan, and he's not as powerful as either of them, but he still has this ability to transform his body into this strong looking figure right here. He's actually like a very weak looking figure, but he has the ability to transform into this like macho dude right here, which is, I think, is so so awesome. All right, but he has a beard, so there we go, Beardish. Okay. Now, next prompt number 31 is Cloud, and from that I pulled out the character Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, actually. So this worked out really well for me. I mean, it was the source material was, of course, a CGI generated graphic. So one of my main worries was will I be able to pull off that CGI shiny effect? And for me, I think I did. With color pencils and markers, I think I finally pulled it off. What do you think? But his name is Cloud, and he's from Final Fantasy VII, and that's the one I used to represent Cloud. Okay? Now, next prompt, which is prompt number 32, was Dodo Bird. And thank goodness for Animal Crossing, because if not for Animal Crossing, I do not know any entertaining way that I would have represented Dodo to you. Wilbur, it's not Wilfur, it's Wilbur. Orville and Wilbur. And it's funny because, okay, dodos can't fly, right? They cannot fly, dodo birds. And so they fly with planes. And the other funny thing is that their names are Orville and Wilbur. And if you guys know your history, Orville and Wilbur Wright were the guys who invented the airplane. Okay, so that's the way that Animal Crossing connects everything together. All right. Okay, so after Dodo, we have prompt number 33, which was Carnival. Okay, so for Carnival, I drew this particular drawing, which is a lot of fun because I created it from beginning to end, just based on colors. And it's a great drawing for me because it was an indication to me that my study and drawing of the female figure is improving tremendously, because I just really loved how she came out. So for me, this was Carnival. This is a woman dressed up in the Carnival colors of Guyana's flag, and I'm Guyanese, and so that's why I represented Guyana in the drawing. And so she's representing Guyana in her Carnival flags. This is what they wear on a holiday in Guyana called Mashamani, and that's Guyana's Carnival. And, you know, of course, the participants dress up in these very glittery costumes and flowers and glittery thingies, just to represent and to dance and to celebrate the independence of Guyana, okay, in 1970, I think. All right, so this was the representation of Carnival. many Caribbean cultures, many have their own carnivals, including Brazil, which I hear is like next level. Okay. Anyway, so yes, this was the representation for Carnival. All right. And day number 34, prompt number 34 was Spoink. And I don't know. Again, I'm not sure what Kesh was thinking, but just to gain some insight, I looked at his Instagram and he drew a pig, which I guess represented the oink part. I don't know. For me, that was a little boring. No offense, Kesh, but for me, I had to come up with something a little bit more entertaining than just a pig. So I came up with an assassin. And this drawing came out like exactly like I wanted it to. And it's basically Deadpool jumping on a pogo stick, and the pogo stick is making the sound spoink, spoink, spoink as it hits the ground. So that nailed it for me. That really did nail it for me. So I hope everybody enjoyed this drawing. I really enjoyed drawing this. I think I need to draw more Deadpool. I really like drawing Deadpool. So we'll see how that goes. All right? Okay. So the next thing is creepy crawlies. So for creepy crawlers, I drew the wall crawler, which was Spider-Man. And of course, very interesting thing about this drawing is this was the first time I ever drew Spider-Man. So, and this is also a giveaway. I think somebody won this. So once I do this video, I have to say goodbye to it. But I'd rather a fan have it, and I would appreciate it. My very first drawing of Spider-Man ever. I really liked how this came out, and so I decided that I wanted a fan that would love it and appreciate it to have it, and the fan that is getting it definitely deserves it. So I know this will be in good hands. But yes, this represents creepy crawler, or creepy crawlies, I should say. And again, I didn't want to draw something creepy or crawly, but I think Spider-Man just represents, a spider's a creepy crawler. But, come on, it's Spider-Man. You can't get more awesome than that when it comes to crawling, right? All right, so there you have it. All right, the prompt number 36 was radio. And I was waiting for this one because I've always just wanted to draw this next character. All right, which is Soundwave. It's getting close on Soundwave, who is one of my favorite Decepticons from the Transformers first generation cartoon. I just one of my favorite Decepticons because of he's got these cassettes that are inside of him, and they come out and they're like these really awesome robots. So, and he's also very loyal to Megatron. And he's like Megatron's most loyal soldier. So, and I don't know, he was always right there whenever stuff went down to get Megatron out of hot spots. But if there's anybody that you want in your corner when stuff goes down, it's this guy, definitely. And he's also probably the most intelligent Decepticon as well. So, all right, so that's Soundwave. I really liked how this came out, though. I think the reflections on his, on his body came out the way I wanted it to. Man, it's really good when a plan comes together, huh? All right, so after radio, we have Bulky Cow, which is I drew this in a live stream, but to be honest, the only thing that I can come up with was this Bulky Cow, and since I like the logo for the Chicago Bulls, I kind of made the cow look like the Chicago Bull logo. So he's a muscular, bulky cow looking like the Chicago Bull logo. So there you have it. That was the best thing I can come up with, man. I couldn't find anything more entertaining than that. because I also did him on a live stream so that he can come off as more entertaining, as a way to get you guys excited about me drawing a muscular bull, or a bulky cow, if you will. All right. Okay, so now here's the deal. Now, I drew waffles before, and I drew the waffles for wafers without looking through the whole prompt, realizing that there is a prompt for waffles. So, of course, I had to draw another set of waffles. Let me just pull this back so you can see it. So I chose a different aspect of the waffles. Now there's waffles with syrup being poured on it. So I like that. I really enjoyed this one. This one didn't make me as hungry as the first one because of how thick the first one looks. But the first one's like big, thick waffles. This one is like too thin waffles. But the thing I like about this one is not only that the waffles look very, very realistic, but the syrup looks like super realistic. Like the syrup looks like I could just, take it off and have a little taste there. All right. Okay, so that was my interpretation of waffles. And the next prompt, which was prompt number, where are we at? 39, was book rodents. Of course, everybody's going to go to the 3 blind mice for this one, but I went to the 1 awesome mice, or mouse, I should say, Jerry from Tom and Jerry. And I kind of put this together myself to make it look like he was just reading a book. And very excited about how the story is going, and so on and so forth. So I like this. This, for me, brought back a lot of memories because I watched Tom and Jerry a lot when I was a kid. So it was really nice to be able to draw this interpretation of book rodents, which is prompt number 39. Okay? So for crown, which was prompt number 40, I drew this picture of the Notorious B.I.G. Now, I went in with this in watercolor because I wanted to just try something different, try something new. Well, not new to me. I'm always using watercolor, but new to you. So, yeah, I wanted to try something new, different, and it worked out really well for me. And I really enjoyed doing this because I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but for some reason, whenever I'm using watercolors, it just relaxes me very much. I don't know what it is about watercolors, but it just has a very calming effect on me. So if I am stressed out at any point, I'll do a watercolor painting just so that I can calm my nerves. It's very therapeutic. And as I mentioned in the video, the Notorious B.I.G. and I were good friends in elementary school. We went to a private school together, St. Peter Claver. Of course, he wasn't the Notorious B.I.G. back then. He was just Christopher Wallace, and he was also the class artist, believe it or not. So, yeah. All right. So after crown, we have brick. And for brick, I drew the Thing, who is made of brick. The blue-eyed Ben Grimm Thing who's made of brick. I definitely wanted to give the impression of brick, so I went in with the detail to represent the cracks in the bricks and how kind of to signify the texture of bricks. So I did that with the pen in black and white, so that even if I didn't color it, that based on the cross hatching and the texture that I represented, that you can tell that it was brick. But of course, I went in and I colored it also because colors just adds another level of awesomeness to any drawing. So there you have it. And that's for prompt number 41, which was brick. And prompt number 42, which is kingdom, I drew Sora from Kingdom Hearts. This is one of my son's favorite games. This is a really cool game. The graphics in this game is amazing. And this is a Disney generated game. So this game has a ton of Disney characters and a ton of Disney references in there. But I liked drawing this particular character because of all the shadows and shading that it allowed me to do. especially on this little mouse right here, which looks like you can just pick it off the page. So this was a cool drawing to do, and this represented Kingdom, because the name of the game that this character is from is Kingdom Hearts. Right? Now prompt number 43 is wood. And who would represent wood better than Groot? Alright? And I mean, if I didn't draw a Groot for this prompt, then you guys had permission to like smack me, because who else are you going to draw for a prompt that says wood, right? This is everybody's favorite Guardian of the Galaxy, for real. Alright? So nobody was mad at me that I drew Groot for the wood prompt. Okay, so there you have it. And now we're gonna go over to prompt number 44, which was camper, and I went to Ben 10 to represent camper. Of course, the camper being the affectionately named Rust Bucket. All right, and that's in back of him. Now this is the old Rust Bucket with the new Ben 10. All right, okay, I get it, but I like the new Ben 10. It is very simple, yes, but I like the way his colors were, and even I added a lot of like details. Like I changed the color of his clothes a little bit and did some shadowing, and I wanted to make his eyes blue, but then I went against it because, well, that wouldn't be Ben 10, so I made his eyes green, of course. But he's the new Ben 10 with the old Rust Bucket camper in the back. And I think this worked out really well. So I was very proud of this. Alright, so that was camper. Okay, Cybermonk. We're going to go with Cybermonk. Alright, now of course, in the video for Cybermonk, there is a story that goes along with why she is who she is, what have you. But the important thing for me in this particular drawing was to pull off the lighting effect. Okay, yes, we wanted to make it understood that she was cybernetically enhanced. She was a monk, but I wanted to pull off the lighting effect to where whatever light is coming from above here is affecting the upper part of her body, and it has to be convincing. So I went in and used my imagination as much as I could to figure out where the light would fall if she was wearing kind of like a hat with the lights come from the top. And for me, I don't know, I think I pulled it off. And strangely enough, one of the things that helps this illusion come to life is this right here, this where the blue light falls, because it shows that the blue light is creating this shadow right here. So that really helps sell the idea that she is standing under a bright light. But yeah, her story is, of course, that she's a Shaolin monk who living in the post-apocalyptic Earth, and in order to survive, she has cybernetic implants because, well, not having cybernetic implants before almost got her killed. So, of course, that was a story I made up. I mean, this character doesn't exist in any other plane but this plane. All right, maybe I should make one comic book of all the characters that I created on here, right? Would that be cool? All right, so this was the prompt number 45, Cybermonk, right? So prompt number 46, which was coconut, again, I would not have left you with just a coconut. Okay, so I basically drew my favorite beverage. I would say in the top 3 of my favorite beverages, the Vita Coco Pure Coconut Water bottle. And this went in, of course, to be 3D realism. And again, this is one of those things that after I drew it, I went right out and got one. So that worked out really well for Vita Coco. They made a sale, I guess. But yeah, this is very good coconut water. All right, and the other prompt, which is the next prompt, which is prompt number 47, was foot. So I drew a foot soldier from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but this is the foot soldier from the 90s movie. I thought that foot soldier looked really awesome, so I found some reference material to just where I can get the costume right, and I thought this pose was really cool, so I drew a foot soldier ready to do battle. So you have to also remember these guys are like ninjas too, but I mean they're not super powered ninjas, but they're also highly trained. All right, so that represents foot. All right, so let's go with one of my favorite realistic pieces, which was this lifesaver, and this is for prompt number 48, which is typo. Now, here's the thing, all right? Do you recognize the typo? Right? If you don't, I'm gonna ruin the surprise for you. But the typo is, instead of lifesavers, it says lift savers. So there's supposed to be, where this F is, there's supposed to be an E, but there's not. There's an F. All right. Peppermint is the actual flavor of the lifesavers. The lifesavers candy or flavor, whatever. Peppermint is spelled correctly. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, peppermint is spelled wrong." Yes, it's spelled wrong, but that's how it's spelled on the package. Right? The the real typo for this particular drawing is that I changed the E to an F, and it says lift savers instead of lifesavers. Simple as it is, in a sketchbook as it is, this is one of my favorite realistic drawings. I don't know why. Maybe because it has a lot of elements of the glittery, shiny aspects. And even as I'm looking at it, it just looks like I can take it off the paper. And I mean, really not tooting my own horn. It just makes me realize that even within this 100 days, that I have reached a certain level of being able to create realism, and it all has to do with all the work that I've been putting in. And this drawing kind of is like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like validation that, okay, all the work that I've put in the last 50 days has really actually paid off, because you're looking at something that you feel like you can just take off the paper. Okay, so let that be a lesson to everyone watching, that your hard work does pay off. Okay, and I'm living proof of that. So you keep working hard. Don't listen to the naysayers. Do what you think you need to do to get where you want to be, and you will get there. But you must keep working. You must put in your best effort, whatever it takes to motivate you to do what you're doing. Do it. Whether it's music, going to church, reading a book, watching a movie to motivate you, whatever gets you up to do the thing that you want to do that will take you to where you want to go, do it. Okay? And then get moving, man. That's it. That's the best advice I can give anybody. All right? And this is typo. And so now we're going to go to staff. What would I do for staff? Oh, right. Staff is in another book. Right. Staff is in this book right here, which my son gave me for Christmas. See this? 12/25/19, Christmas. All right, so for staff, I drew Goku and the boys, with Goku holding the power pole. Now, this is from Dragon Ball Z. Okay, and this is Goku with the power pole that he had in Dragon Ball Z. I almost forgot he had that thing. Dragon Ball Z was so long ago. But for me, this was a very exciting way to represent staff. And, you know, I liked the idea that, like, all these guys are standing around him, and they just look like they're ready for some action. All right, so I'm very proud of this picture. It came out exactly the way I wanted it to. So there you have it. And for the last prompt, which is journal, all right, I drew, this is prompt number 50, And this is the halfway mark, and this is Dipper Pines from Gravity Falls reading journal number 3, which he owns, and it gives him insight to all the interesting little doodads and things that have been happening around Gravity Falls. So whenever he wants answers about the strange happenings in Gravity Falls, he references the journal to guide him along. And of course, this show also is one of those shows that just kind of bring back a lot of memories for me. And I watched it today because it's still on, I think, Disney. So I watched it today, even, it's only in reruns. But I also did buy the box set. I think it's like 3 seasons or something. So even if it doesn't come on TV anymore, I have this like really cool box set that I could always watch these episodes that I love so much with. Okay, and plus this just has also this show has one of the best theme songs ever. So, all right, well that's it, man. That's the halfway point. That is definitely the halfway point. Well, I hope that was as riveting for you as it was for me. It was kind of nice to go back and kind of like see those drawings and kind of reminisce about what it actually influenced them. So that was a lot of fun. I can't wait to get working on the next 50. Honestly, I was really excited about how the last drawing turned out, and like I said before about with the Lifesavers drawings, it's an indication of how far I've come. So I can't wait to see how far from here I'll come by the time I reach 100. You know what I mean? So this is a very cool video for me to make. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys watched all the way to the end. And if you have any advice, if you have any suggestions for videos, I've written down a ton of your suggestions and a ton of your requests, so that when I'm done with the 100 days of sketching, I can just jump on all your requests and stuff like that. So don't think your requests are going in vain. I'm writing them down, and don't worry, I deliver them to you. And even while I'm doing the 100 days, I'm gonna start doing more videos on the side, so that you guys can also see other content other than just the 100 days, okay? And you guys know that because I've been doing that already, so it's not something that I have to say. So either way, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for your support. And as usual, this is drawninjakc saying, I'll see you for the next 50 days of sketching. Wow!